Ukraine, the country is on high alert as it celebrates its 33rd Independence Day. The deadly fighting between Russian and Ukrainian forces unrelenting as Ukraine expands its invasion into Russia's Kursk region. Both sides exchanging drone, missile, and artillery attacks. Ukrainian officials reporting at least 2 deaths after Russia struck an area in the southern portion of Kherson. And as the war reaches a 30-month milestone, a flash of positive news, both sides agreeing to a prisoner swap, handing over 115 prisoners each. This as President Biden commits to sending Ukraine additional air defense missiles, counter-drone equipment, anti-armor missiles, and mobile rocket systems. ABC News foreign correspondent Inez de la Catara joins me now. So, Inez, as Ukraine expands into the Kursk region of Russia, Moscow is now issuing a new nuclear warning. How is all of this fighting impacting Ukraine's Independence Day?
Hey, Mary. Yeah, so when it comes to Independence Day, today is the day that Ukraine celebrates its independence from the Soviet Union, the 33rd year it has done so. And to mark the day, we did hear from the Ukrainian President Zelensky, who talked about that surprise attack into the Kursk region. He said that the war had now returned to Russia, and he said that basically the Russians would now have to understand that any point in Russia that poses a threat to either the state of Ukraine or the people of Ukraine could become a target. So a clear warning there to Russia. On the nuclear front, we are seeing some more back and forth over nuclear power plants. So we've seen that with Zaporizhia. Now we're talking about a nuclear power plant in the Kursk region. The Russians claiming that the Ukrainians have gone after that power plant with a drone. As of now, though, we have no way of verifying that.
Okay, so let's talk about this prisoner swap. How much, what do we know? How did we get to this prisoner swap? Tell us a bit more.
Yeah, so it was the UAE that mediated this prisoner swap. We know that there were 115 prisoners on each side. What's really interesting when it comes to the Russian side is that all of the Russians that were involved in this prisoner swap were actually captured by Ukrainians in the Kursk region. So I think that gives you a good sense of what's happening on the ground. The fact that the Ukrainians were able to capture so many Russians, in their own territory inside Russia. And the Ukrainian president actually did talk about that today. He was, of course, celebrating the prisoner swap. But he said that that is specifically one of the goals of this surprise attack into the Kursk region, to capture as many Russians as possible to be able to exchange them for Ukrainian prisoners of war.
Okay, Inez, thank you so much.